Bonjour français toi. Aujourd'hui, on va parler du subjonctif. Ça vient de unité 9 dans le livre. Ok, le subjunctive. We are going to get super in depth into the subjunctive in level 4. So for right now, we're sort of going to gloss over its uses and focus mostly on the formation. But in terms of when we use the subjunctive, it is very commonly used with expressions of necessity and obligation. And really, we're going to actually just focus on one expression. All right, so the important thing about a subjunctive is it's found in a dependent clause, which means that there's an independent clause attached to it. So you're going to see this word que, meaning that. And your sentence is going to end up with two subjects. And we'll see that in a little bit. But let's talk about formation. All right, that's the main focus for us right now, is figuring out how do we make the subjunctive. All right, your stem is the il or l plural form. You're going to take off the o, ent, not take of. Phew, fix that. Okay, take off the ent. And here are our endings. E, es, e. Does that seem familiar? I-O-N-S, I-E-Z, and then ent. So this is a weird mashup of, check these out. These are your regular er verb endings. And then these are the same as the imperfect. So we're in for a wild ride, that's for sure. But those are your endings for the subjunctive. How do we translate this into English? Oh, so many different ways. There's really not a true equivalent in English. So I'll give you an example. Il faut que vous regardiez ce film. Here's your subjunctive right here. And this il faut que means it is necessary that. So we could translate as it is necessary that you watch this movie. You should watch this movie. It's necessary to watch this movie. You'll have to watch this movie. So there's so many different ways that you can translate the necessity of this expression into English. Let's take a look so you can kind of get a sense of what these verbs are looking like. Talking about parler, starting with parler. So here's your il plural form. Take off the ent. There's your stem. Put the es on. There's your subjunctive. But it also looks like the present indicative. So that's crazy. Now, choisir is an ir verb, so it gets a little tricky. Remember that ent, alright, it's not just ent, it's issent. So then our stem has that extra iss in it, which we're used to, for example, in like the imperfect. And then here's your ending of the e. So ir verbs are going to look pretty crazy. Here's an re verb, vendre. So ils vendent, take off the ent, there's your stem, and then your ending vendions. This, alright, looks just like the imperfect. So tons of similarities. We're just going to take a deep breath. We'll be fine. Think about sortir, okay? That's an irregular verb in the present tense. Its il plural form is sort, which means our stem is sort. And then you put that e for your ending in the l form, and we got elle sort. Last one, conduire, also irregular in the present tense. So you've got conduise, there's your stem, and conduisiez, that would be your subjunctive. Okay? So, give these 6 verbs a shot. Pause the video and see if you can make a sentence with il faut que. I'm going to talk about il faut que in just a second. Alright, I hope you paused. Here we go. Il faut qu'elle grossisse. Il faut qu'il danse. Notice, look at that. Il plural form is the same in the present indicative and the present subjunctive. Il faut que je dise. Remember the il plural form of dire is dise, D-I-S-E-N-T. Il faut que tu partes. Il faut que vous finissiez. Et il faut que nous parlions. Voilà. So speaking of il faut que, alright, that's the only expression your textbook's going to use right now. It means it is necessary that. And it'll be followed by the subjunctive after that que. So here's an example. Il faut que je finisse mon travail. Remember I said there's lots of different ways to translate it. So it's necessary that I finish my work. I must finish my work. I have to finish my work. You also will see il ne faut pas que. It is not necessary that. And that, of course, will also use the subjunctive. Okay? So that's the end of the regular subjunctive. Okay, the next 4 slides are going to have 4 irregular verbs, the most common irregular verbs. And there's going to be no surprise to you, I'm sure, for example, that être is irregular in the subjunctive in the present tense. It goes like this. Je sois, tu sois, il soit. Nous soyons, vous soyez, il soit. Take a second to process that insanity. And we'll continue with aller, which gets exciting. J'aille, tu ailles, il aille. Yes, that's for real. À Lyon, allier, aille. Hope you're getting some giggles out of that. So, see, you've got the EESE still, the IONS, IEZ, ENT. But notice here we're going AI in the stem, and this is AL. So, be careful. Here comes avoir for you. We've got j'ai, tu es, il est, nous ayons, vous ayez, and ils aient. And our last one is faire. We've got je fasse, tu fasses, il fasse, nous fassions, vous fassiez, il fasse. Beautiful, aren't they? You're going to be okay. Don't worry. But that's a little petit introduction du subjonctif. Merci, au revoir. But wait, there's more. We're also going to talk about the subjunctive with the verb vouloir que. Remember, vouloir means to want. So when you want someone else to do something, all right, we're going to use the subjunctive. Take a peek. Je veux que tu sois à l'heure. I want you to be on time. What is essential here is I want you to be on time. These two subjects are different. If they were going to be the same, we would use the infinitive, and we'll see an example of that. Ma mère veut que je reste ici. My mother wants me to stay here, or she wants that I stay here. Again, ma mère, one subject. We got the que for a new clause, and then a new subject in je. Je veux bien que tu sortes. Je veux bien is like, yeah, I would like that. I really would like it if you go out. You know, nothing would make me happier. But again, look, je is here, and we have our new subject tu here. In case you forgot vouloir, remember it goes je veux, tu veux, il veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent. And then don't forget the conditional to, je voudrais. That would also take the subjunctive. So compare these two. Je veux que tu parles. I want you to speak. Here's the difference. We have a new subject, so we use the subjunctive. Je veux parler. That's I want to speak. Like I want me to speak. So those subjects, you know, it's all je. I'm the one that wants, and I'm the one that's going to speak. So in that case, we use the infinitive because we don't have this que to start a new clause. So take a look at these, and we got to figure out. We're going to use étudier. Do we need the subjunctive, or do we need an infinitive? All right. Numéro 1, je dois étudier. Infinitive. All right. I have to study. Madame veut que vous étudiez. Subjunctive. All right. Again, we have this que introducing a new subject. Mes parents veulent que j'étudie. Again, the subjunctive. New subject here is je. Il faut étudier. Infinitive. Nous voulons étudier. We want to study. All right. There's no new subject. There's no que. Je vais étudier. I'm going to study. Je veux que tu étudies. We have the que and a new subject. So we conjugate étudie. Et voilà, maintenant c'est vraiment finir avec le subjonctif. Pour maintenant,